So I want to talk about the shopping cart court case I got to see a snippet of this morning. It was going to be at 10:45 in Judge McIntosh's court. For some reason, I checked the docket early, around 8. See, oh my gosh, I've got to run down to the courthouse. They've changed it, and most surely it's going to be web access or webex, which is basically like Zoom. I don't know which courts use it or how prevalent it is, but in Clatsop County they use webex, which is the video conferencing app with a link system, and you can get on with a phone or software on your computer. Or they used to have iPads down at the library, but now that they've built these claustrophobic um, little, it's sort of like a telephone booth looking things. I think they want you to go on those, and they just are like smell very toxic because the brand new fresh carpet, and they're very stuffy. But anyway, so I get the link to get into the shopping cart case. I got there early, and I'm able to smile at the shopping cart person I'm there to support, and so that message is received, okay? So she's sitting in the back of, and like, thank God the Clatsop County Court is not wearing those atrocious striped garments. Those, maybe they threw them away because they really smelled or something. But they were wearing like gray scrubs. So a gentleman before her was first in queue for the morning roster of court things, and at some point somebody in the kind of like administrative of the host says, oh, we have Mary Yang, and I just go like, because like I don't even need to verbally acknowledge or like turn my mute off, and the court clerk, or the, I don't know what you call him, but the court window guy, he told me to go down to the little luncheon room that nobody goes to, because it was sort of disruptive to be having the Emily Reinica motion to dismiss hearing in the middle of the marble hall when they're absolutely denying us any way to participate or access justice or demonstrate our support. So the reporter from the Daily Historian was just like about, because this like electronic court system it's a learning curve. But the primary point for me is that it feels like it disrupts the ability of the citizens to observe their judiciary and to have like an inclusive physical presence. Well, I call it e-fascism because it's an electronic form of rubber stamping and industrializing whole-scale denial of justice at its worst. I mean, in certain instances, maybe an attorney is in a different city, wants to commute in. I ended up speaking to the Judicial Commission for probably 37 minutes, which I really love this lady, despite some of the hurtful subject matter we spoke of, about like the processing where basically like it's much more convenient to have a video conference software from the jail. And so I'm tuning in, and like one of the things is like on my little phone, I'm only allowed to have 4 boxes. So one box was the mother of the first guy, and then my box, and then as the judge came on, there was an administrator. For whatever reason, whatever order I was in queue, my face was taking up a main box if you're looking on the phone. And I haven't gotten familiar enough to know how to tab through, or I found out how to like turn off anybody who doesn't have a picture, or normally I wouldn't want to show my face that much, but because I was really trying to support my friend and be present for her, I did. And I don't have great eyes, so I was finding it really, like, I had to squint, and, like, I'm getting in my mid-40s, so I'm, like, probably need bifocals, and I'm having trouble, like, seeing reactions and understanding the nuance that is what you would have if you had a 3-dimensional court experience. So that's partially eyesight related, and I would do better on a laptop or a bigger computer. So I got to see the firefighter who went off and thought he could call into probation and he needed to attend. So then he got a probation violation. So he got 5 days for what could have been 2 misdemeanor, like 1 year sentences for a probation violation when he was firefighting in atrocious wildfire in Washington state. And it was, he seemed very appreciative that the judge was so lenient to give him time served for 5 days or something. And Mary Merck was his attorney, and it was the first time I've ever seen her in action. I used to like see her all the time at the gym in action. She works out really hard, but inspiring. But she sings too in the locker room, and she wears heels after she works out. Little like cute little mule clog things, but it was really nice. She was like a great lawyer. I was like, yes, and she's kind of assertive and wow. Okay, so anyway, she had some kind of cute, trenchy, I don't know what it was, linen, rust-colored, cute hippie style going on. So I see this little firefighter, and then next is going to be my friend, was basically forced to be in jail for, drum roll, more than 10 days over a shopping cart from Safeway. And so I may be saying more with my friend who wants to make a podcast about this, or possibly a zine or a poster or something, because I've had this sort of persistent nagging obsession with shopping carts. Because in Astoria's mindset, Astoria's like kind of at square one of like, shopping carts are the problem. And I'm like, no, homelessness is the problem, or lack of housing is the problem. And so they basically criminalized borrowing or using a shopping cart. It was very prevalent for a while. And it takes down the cosmetic atrocity, and the people have switched to baby strollers and little pull wagons. And this sweet lady was pushing a shopping cart, got a ticket, then got failure to appear warrants, got another charge regarding her gardening implement being misinterpreted as a weapon, and that charge got dropped. So right as she's coming to the fore, I believe at a certain point I turned my face off so I would drop out so I could see the people who were in the jail. And I had sort of already made eye contact, but then I was like, okay, well, this is like, maybe I should put my face back on because I can control whether or not my video is. So I put my face back on, but then I realized I really can't see like the facial expressions because of how tiny the boxes are. So I take off my glasses and I go like this, and they kick me off. And I don't know if they kicked me off for like squinting with my eyes or because of my vision. I'm like, I maybe gonna try to figure this out. Like, or was it because Kirk Wintermute doesn't like me? That's what I was kind of thinking. I didn't make a sound. I didn't alter my microphone thing. And the mother of the first guy had left her computer monitor going, and maybe they were just kicking her off and kicked me off too. I was thinking it was on accident. So I was like, oh, I'll just try to jump back on the signal. And then I was denied. So I went upstairs and asked the front desk at the courthouse, like, what's going on? They kicked me out. I don't know. Is it almost over anyway? Because these are short little hearings. So he messages them, would you please let her run? And they like ignore him and blow him off. So he resends me a link to my email. I click the link to get into the e-court, and the host denies me. So I called the Judicial Commission, and I'm like, what about a free, fair, and open, transparent judiciary where members of the public do not face these horrible restrictions and impediments to participating, to supporting family members and friends? Was it something about the nature of this case, that this is a woman facing houselessness or homelessness who is using a shopping cart and now being held due to the likelihood that she would have another failure to appear if she's not held in custody for an extended amount of time for her next court date? Meanwhile, she is signing up for a plea bargain, and I don't know what type of sentence or time served she might have got. because I was kicked out of the hearing. And it was really nice talking with the Judicial Commission, Lady Rachel Mortimer, about the feeling that justice is abbreviated by this electronic format. And I can see in many instances it could be much more convenient for somebody who has more anxiety going into a courthouse. And, or for instance, a person who doesn't want to show their face but only wants to show their name, or doesn't have the video software but only has the audio component, or has like a broken webcam, which I find the whole invasion of your home and privacy to be just excruciating. It is very much like having the state looking into your living room. And the lawyers and judges who are afforded the dignities of offices and courthouses and benches, which often they appear to be in some quasi courtroom, and it might be like a back room of the courthouse. Well, anyway, the cute little prosecutor lady prosecuting the shopping cart case was adorable. She's got like brunette hair and some really chunky, cute glasses. And she looked like all of 26 or something. And I think, was her name Lex or something like that? But anyway, my friend smiling at me meant the world, but I think just kicking me out of the hearing right as it got juicy, where right as the judge might have spoken to her or made some commandment, or for instance chewed her out or approved of her, or maybe made some comment about her healthcare options. I just really think that was dreadful, and I imagine it was retaliatory regarding the lifeboat conflict of interest. And his attitude of whistleblower retaliation for me bringing forward complaints about lifeboats, poor treatment of disabled people, specifically disabled women, and to see once again the Life Board president involved in criminalizing the shopping cart, where there's a lot of really atrocious crime surrounding the lifeboat cast and crew. It felt very punitive and very tragic. I got on the phone with the Safeway manager, who absolutely disavows this and says he wants nothing to do with prosecuting people for using shopping carts or even petty theft. They're just not into that. They're into person-on-person crime, and that's the extent of their participation. So it's good for the Safeway Corporation that they can see what a travesty this is. And on the argument that, oh yeah, she's getting whatever, 3 hots and a cot, or she's getting like room and board and shelter for this extended stay at the jail. Yeah, but like that could be done in a different, nicer way, which could be like an appropriate women's shelter that is safe and therapeutic, or something that is less invasive. And if this kind of pretension of prosecuting a shopping cart use by a homeless person is because the justice system is so kind-hearted about giving them shelter in a jail, it just was kind of upsetting. She looked okay. She looked kind of positive and clear and a little slender. I don't know. But she was definitely thrilled to have a supporter. So why I had to be knocked out of the hearing, I think I would have liked rather to have had like a laptop on me, and then I could have seen more what was going on and how many people and how many like courtroom administrators, see maybe the host's name. I really wasn't expecting that. I really don't like doing it on the phone. I preferred it when they had the iPad and they would set you up, and if you had a technical difficulty, you had someone monitoring. So I, when I was supporting a lot of, like basically researching the whole eviction process, I went to a lot of eviction cases and kind of got the formula and got to jump on the iPads for that. And I heard somebody got 8 months for a shopping cart. 8 months. And I don't know if there was some backstory going on, but it's supposed to send a message and be, oh, look, to the Astoria homeless community, don't use shopping carts. And then the bourgeoisie don't find the homelessness so offensive. And Safeway actually said it costs them a lot of money because they have to put so many notices up about removing a cart is punishable by law or something like that. And I think Astoria needs to do a lot better than that, and that is not in any. Oh, and the $2,000 ticket my friend got for camping at the DHS building. Unconscionable, horrendous. And it's just creating a debt that the city can create as a write-off. And if you need to be scammy like that, she doesn't have that money. So you know she doesn't have that money, nor do you, nor will you ever. So like maybe find a different way to find a tax write-off, and don't treat a homeless person's dignity like a tax write-off. I find that gruesome and offensive, and maybe I want to bring it to the county or the city council eventually. So I believe my friend is out of custody, which is sort of cool. I hope she's okay. Thanks to her buddy for kind of briefing me on the facts and shopping court madness in Astoria, Oregon.